Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with the Disability Policy for All. Today I have the great fortune to be talking to Jennifer Mathis, who is the Policy Director here at Babylon Center for Mental Health Law. And also she's the co-chair of the Consortium for Citizens with Disability Rights Task Force. Today we're going to be talking to Jennifer about mental health issues. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you.
The first question is, what did the Babylon Mental Health Law Center do?
I know our name is a mouthful. Actually, we used to be called the Mental Health Law Project. That's how we started out in the 1970s. We've been around for 44 years now. We started in 1972. And what we do is we're a national nonprofit, essentially law firm of sorts. We represent people with mental disabilities, primarily people with psychiatric disabilities, also to some extent people with intellectual developmental disabilities, and we do both litigation as well as policy advocacy. So we go in both directions, and I would say our mission is overall to ensure that people with disabilities can have the same kinds of lives as people without disabilities. And so what that means is that we promote equal opportunities for people with disabilities in all aspects of life, so including community living, healthcare, education, employment, parental rights, family rights, voting rights, pretty much every major area in which people sometimes experience discrimination.
Okay. Before we go further, one question: what does litigation mean?
Oh, litigation means that we sue people sometimes, and primarily we tend to bring lawsuits against states. We bring different types of lawsuits, and it's not always states or local governments, but typically it is, because typically what we are saying is that they are violating the ADA by structuring their mental health system the way that it is, and usually what our complaint is that they over-rely on institutions. Too many people have no choice but to be in an institution like a boarding care home or a nursing home, sometimes a psychiatric hospital, when they could be in supported housing, with services in their own apartment or home in the community.
Okay, great.
And we say that's an ADA problem and an Olmstead violation.
Okay, that's so interesting. The next question is, what bills are being considered right now to address the mental health issues? And can you give us some details about what is in there?
Sure. So there's a lot of bills that I guess touch in some way on mental health, and so what I think maybe makes sense is to talk about the two big ones that are out there right now. They're the ones that are moving and the ones that everybody's paying attention to. So there's one in the House and one in the Senate, and they're both supposed to be comprehensive, which means they touch on a lot of different things. They're big bills. They're not just on one narrow issue. And both of them, I think, are designed to really look at kind of coordinating mental health services better across the federal government, across the state governments, and promoting sort of just better services, essentially, for people. I think we have had a lot of concerns about the one that passed in the House, And certainly I think it got a lot better by the time that it passed the whole House. We and others, NDRN and NICL and the National Coalition for Mental Health Recovery and the ACLU and many, many other groups, civil rights groups and disability rights groups had raised concerns about the approach in the House. In the Senate, I think they were much more tailored in their approach, and so we've actually been supporting the Senate bill. Even though we did not like the House bill particularly, we recognize that it improved dramatically. It improved a lot from when it was introduced to when it was passed. The Senate bill hasn't passed yet, so it's waiting, and it may go to the floor in this Congress. We're not sure yet. But what both of those bills do is, frankly, they focus on a lot of existing grant programs like the mental health block grant, and they sort of build on those programs to try to build in requirements about coordination. They have some provisions that would expand the mental health workforce, including by making it easier for people to go into mental health as a career. They expand peer support programs, although actually I think they do less in terms of direct money to peer support workers and more in terms of just kind of looking at what works in terms of peer support. Our concerns about the House bill have been that the main focus tended to be very coercive treatments, and coercive, by that I mean using force or locking people up. I think the focus was sort of making it easier to institutionalize people, and also expanding programs that essentially give people forced treatment in the community, meaning that instead of sort of getting help or services on a voluntary basis where you choose it, the court would order you to take these services, and if you didn't comply with them and you didn't do what the order said to do, then you could go and get hospitalized. They might do that to you. So people think of it as sort of involuntary or forced outpatient services. That was a lot of the focus of the House bill, and we found that troubling. We didn't think that those were the right solutions, and we really thought it made much more sense, it'd be more effective to focus on the community services that people need on a day-to-day basis, including housing supports and employment services and crisis services, mobile crisis teams, peer support services from other folks who have actually been through the mental health service system and can help people navigate because they've been there. So we think those services have a great deal of support and evidence behind them. They are proven to work, and yet we know that we don't make them available to enough people. And so we thought, well, that is where the biggest gaps are in our service system. That's where we should be focusing, not ignoring those services that enable people every day to go on with their lives and to get housing and jobs and have families and have regular lives, but sort of ignoring those and instead waiting for people to have a crisis and then go to the hospital and saying, okay, we're going to build lots of hospital beds because we're going to focus on the very end stage of what might happen to somebody. And I think the more that you focus on the end stage and put all your money into hospitalization and building more hospital beds and not into kind of doing the things that will help people not get to the hospital in the first place, the more that you change the service system to be more focused on institutions. And so we thought that the approach should be really on the front end, the community services. In the Senate, I think they have some similar provisions, but it's much more focused on community services. And all of those things like expanding hospital beds or of the Senate bill, outpatient commitment out of the Senate bill. Another thing that we found, troubling in the House bill was weakening people's privacy rights. And I think mental health is an area where there's particular concerns. Everybody needs privacy rights, in many situations, but in mental health in particular, if you can't be assured that your information is not going to go to someone else against your will when you go seek help, then people aren't going to seek help. And, it's not good treatment. It's not good, not a good practice. So the Senate bill is much more focused on, I think, the basics of, let's expand community services, let's better coordinate services, let's do some things to improve mental health services on college campuses, let's do some things to improve kids getting mental health services in school and elementary and secondary education. And so all of those things seemed fine and good to us, and so we thought the Senate bill really took a better approach of being more focused on the things that people need earlier, not focusing on sort of assuming that people are going to spend all their time going into crisis and being institutionalized.
Okay, thank you. If you have any questions about this or any other issues, policy issues, please go to the AUCG webpage and look for this week's In Brief. And if you have any questions or comments about this week's Tuesdays with Blues, please leave them in the space below. Thanks, and have a nice day. Thanks again, Jennifer.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.